All right, guys, the first barrel and blade subs for the year just came in the mail. So we've got their regular subscription box, which is a little slim box this month, and also their knife of the month, which is always awesome. So let's open these up and see what came. What's up, guys? Eric here with ATHOME in the Future, and I'm back with another barrel and blade unboxing, a super unboxing where we do both the regular subscription and their knife of the month package. We're going to start with the regular sub. If you're unfamiliar with this, pretty interesting little package. A lot of stuff that you don't typically see in a lot of the other survival and prepping style sub boxes, which I'm pretty excited about. This one's very skinny too, probably the thinnest one we've ever seen. So pretty curious about this. Comes in two different flavors. There's a level 1 box for about 50 bucks in a month and a level 2 that has more gear and stuff in it for 100. That's what we unbox in this channel. If you want to get the subscription for yourself, you can follow the link on the screen or down in the description. But like I said, interesting shape here. Very few spoilers in these ever. Very curious to see what could be inside such a narrowly shaped box. Maybe your knife or something. Maybe, I don't know, some flatter items. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna open this open. What we have here is Operation 79. Man, that was a good guess in knife stuff. The Art of the Blade. So it looks like this may be all about, it says keeping it in good working order. Amazing gear to keep your blade sharp and in perfect working condition. So we've got your level 1 stuff over here, which a lot of times is still featured in level 2, but sometimes level 2 is more of an upgraded version of stuff. But you see the rundown of all that. But what I'm gonna do is put this off to the side, unload everything, and we'll come back and take a look. So there we go. Like we mentioned, knife care is the name of the game this month, the Art of the Blade. Lots and lots of stuff here, from sharpeners to little care swabs, which I've never seen before. We'll go through it here. But let's start at the top here. So it's from KPL, the original knife oil. So KPL stands for Knife Pivot Lube. Just if you have a knife, you want to use this stuff. But you can see your instructions right here going through. Just keep that pivot nice and smooth. Now, the smoothness of that pivot just depends on really how you use your knife too, at least in my experience. If you're using it for tough work or outside and stuff, getting dirt and grit and grime in there happens a lot more. If you're just like opening Amazon packages, which to be honest is a lot of what I do with my knives every week, I don't find myself having to oil things all that often, but to keep stuff in tip-top shape, this is the kind of thing you want to have. KPL makes great stuff. Smooth, protects, and cleans. Easy to put in there, just takes a few drops. So we've got that. Also the old KPL knife shield here, wrapped in plastic. Let's take that off and take a look. Now this is the product that I find myself using maybe a little bit more often, just because get that on your blades, get that in all your materials and stuff. It just keeps things clean, keeps things, I don't know, nice and sanitary and stuff, and just your blades nice and shiny and everything, but also prevents rust and corrosion. Polishes it a little bit, although I mean if you already got some nicks and stuff in there, it's not really gonna get those out of there. But this is a thing more often than not, the knives that I carry the most that actually EDC, I'll try to hit them up with this stuff once a week as I think about it. And then just some pivot lube every now and then if they start feeling gritty or grimy, or I'm just trying to do some general maintenance. So two standouts, standards if you're into the knife world type thing. These little ultra micro swabs, this is new to me. Maybe for those of you who are way into knife maintenance, maybe you're more familiar with this stuff. I really dig these things. Look at these tiny itty bitty little things. So you know there's tiny details of your knives. Let's see, I've got a pair of 3 over here, which I haven't carried all that much, but let's say I got some grit and grime way down in here, down this compression lock. Being able to get in there and kind of maybe take a few sprays of that KPL, or even a little bit of that pivot lube, and try to get down in there and just make sure it's all spread around. These look super useful. Or maybe if you have really tiny ears, I don't know. That is cool to have those. I didn't even know those existed, to be honest. So cool, like seeing that. That makes sense for a knife-centric box. This looks like the big hitter of the kit here, which is your Lansky Deluxe 5-stone precision knife sharpening system. So let's see, it looks like this is made to be mounted on the side of the bench. I'm used to like the workshop style stuff, and I have a smaller Lansky sharpener, but not a big one. I hate the style packaging, but I'm going to try to cut into it real quick and see if we can get this out and take a look. All right, so I got our kit out here. Take this off so we can see all of our little pieces and stuff, but you have everything you need to set up a nice sharpening station with all the different angles and everything. Looks like the guides are actually built in here so you can hold it. That must have been incorrect. I thought that was like a mounted thing, but you actually hold your system here, you get your sharpening rods, and you have the angles built in when you have your knife clamped down on the edge. Then you can take your different grit sharpening stones here. We got all sorts of different stuff here. Let's see, we got extra coarse, we've got, let's see, 120, 280, 600, and 1000 ultrafine. So lots of different things that you might need to get things done. So a little bit more of an old school system, I feel like, compared to some of the modern tools that you may see from Worksharp and stuff. But nonetheless, Lansky is known for making some really great sharpening gear. So new to me, I'm interested to check it out. We'll have to dig into that a little bit more and see how well it works over time. But excited to see stuff like that. Again, if you're getting this box, you love this sort of gear, so cool to see. So let's pop that over to the side. Looks like we also have a pocket system, a good classic Blade Medic sharpener with your ceramic and your carbide in there, a little serrated ceramic, which is interesting, a little rod. So man, in the knife world, there is so much argument about these things. This is the first thing I started with before I moved up to like a work sharp kind of stone system. And I guess if you got a cheapo blade, sub $25, you're just touching up every now and then, this is probably okay. But from what like my big eat, sleep, and breathe knives guys tell me, that using these things can kind of chew up the edge of your blade, and the grind on there can really mess that stuff up over time. So I'll probably stick more with something like the big boy than this. But if you just need something to touch up your stuff, keep it in an emergency kit, it's good to have an extra one of those. But the good news is, with all this knife stuff, we actually get a knife to goof off with, and we have from Bear & Sons a sideliner flipper. I feel like Bear & Sons is a brand that we've seen fairly often, both in the regular Barrel and Blade box and also in their Knife of the Month Club, which we'll unbox in a minute. I don't know if they sent us another one this month too, but we'll see. So, all right, so we have, let's see, a nice flipper here. A little bit of stiff action. It is a liner lock in there. You know what? I'm glad they sent us some of that pivot lube, because this is going to need it. May even loosen up the pivot. But nice, kind of has lines that remind me a little bit of a classic Griptilian, just without the axis lock and probably the smoothness and stuff. It is built in the USA, that's cool. Number 126, nice deep carry clip. A little bit thick for what it is, but again, it's got that Griptilian feel. You know what it actually is? Pretty comfortable. A little bit of a drop point blade on there, probably about 3 inches. Let's see if we see anything about it on maybe G10. It says a 440 stainless steel with a bead finish. It says it's spring action assisted. Is it? I guess there is a little bit of a spring in there. That's funny because I felt like it was stiff. Okay. Maybe that spring is definitely getting easier to open the more I hit that flipper. Typically when I'm thinking of a spring open thing, I think of some of the more modern ones from like Kershaw that just fly open. And I can, now that I know it's there, and especially when shutting it, see how that spring's pushing back up. I'm feeling it more, and it's loosening up over time. So, okay, interesting. I'm glad I read that, because I don't think I would even recognize the assist just right out of the box before it's kind of worn in. Okay, cool. Well, I don't mind that. It's weird. It has the handle in some ways kind of reminds me of a Benchmade 940 handle, and then it's got that Griptilian feel there. A nice little finger choil. It's a pretty comfortable knife. Oh no, it has all the ingredients of something I feel like I should like a lot more than I do at first glance, but interesting. Okay, so that is our regular subscription box there from Barrel and Blade. $70 knife. We got all these knife sharpening stuff, almost $100 worth of knife sharpening tools. And we also have some swabs and KPL and everything else. So good value box. If you're into upping your knife game for the start of the year, this is definitely the type of box you want to get. The good news is, since I wasn't totally overwhelmed with this knife, we have another knife to check out. So this is a separate subscription. This is Barrel and Blade's Knife of the Month Club package here. Now this normally can be all sorts of shapes and sizes, big knives, small knives, big boxes, tiny packages. Looks like we got a medium-sized box inside an envelope this month. So let's pop this open. This sub, if you want to pick it up, it's about $100 a month, but they always give you a knife that's worth way more than that. I found this sub to be a lot of fun to get so far, if you're into knives at all. So we've got a Gerber, which I think is the first time we've seen that in this sub. And here's our card here. So the Gerber, oh, the fastball in flat sage. This is kind of an EDC recent classic, I feel like. $125 MSRP, which definitely is street price on these. And actually, I do not have one of these in my collection yet. So here we go, cool cardboard packaging. The Gerbers I've had in recent memory all kind of have this big cardboard box thing going on. And they're sometimes hard to get out, so let's see. Yeah, so you can see it down in here. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of an insert, some paperwork. All right, they got buckled in here. Good thing I have another knife sitting handy. I'm going to use my trusty Spyderco here. And we got the clip kind of on the cardboard. All right, there we go. So Gerber in recent years, I feel like they fell off about 5 or 7 years ago, where like they were known for some awesome stuff for so long, had really high quality, kind of military history of stuff, and then it's like they licensed their name out everywhere. I didn't feel like they produced some good gear or not, but this is one of the ones that's supposed to be kind of like a redemption knife, showing they're still serious about this stuff. And look at this, very cool. I think aluminum scales, a liner lock. Ah, man, if that was just deep carry, that'd really rock my world, but really cool. I think they said the color is flat sage. So you got that nice dark gray-green, cool lanyard hole. It's even got a backspacer in it. No jimping or anything, but man, that is very comfortable. Again, I know I mentioned the 940 just a little bit ago. This reminds me a little bit of that with that kind of Wharncliffe style blade on it. Let's look at our specs here. S30V, Wharncliffe blade, ball bearings. All right, let's see. Whew. It's fast to close. Flipper feels good. I can't just fly it out. The funny thing is definitely smoother to open than that assisted bare edge one. Precision detent provides light switching operation. Interesting. Okay. I mean, the detent feels fine. I don't feel like it's anything special. 3-inch blade, USA made, and a lifetime warranty. That's the big deal here. So you can see the badging here on the other side. Made in USA, Portland, Oregon. It's got some badging and numbers on there too, but a very handsome knife. Reminds me similar in size to a Bug Out, to a Pyrite, to some of those just sweet spot EDC blades. I really like this thing. I actually probably like this more than some of the more expensive blades they've sent in the subscription, just because this definitely feels like an EDC knife. Interesting pivot there. Almost expected that to be an auto, seeing just that little adornment there in the pivot, but closed again. It reminds me a little bit of a 940, similar lines. I'm kind of hiding down in the handle. I should have had my 940 out for this video, but oh well. I do love that it's really thin. Very interesting finish. These aluminum scales, you wouldn't think they'd be grippy, but it's got like this almost like a micro texture on it that I really like. So that is a cool blade. Glad to see that in here. Yeah, it just says it's known for smooth deployment and everything. Cool. That is going to earn some pocket time for me. I've heard some things about this from my EDC friends that are saying they actually enjoy carrying these. So glad to add one of these to the workbench. Pretty neat. So there you go. That is this month's Knife of the Month Club from Barrel and Blade, along with the regular sub down there. Definitely knife centric this month. Again, if you're interested in getting the subscription for yourself, you can follow the link on the screen or down in the description. It's the first time I feel like I pointed to that with a knife blade. Probably not Smarts and Farms right there. But anyway, really dig this sub. If you're into practical survival prepping type stuff, I think you'll dig this, either of these subscriptions. Really, really great. So that's it for this month's super unboxing. As always, if you dug this video, be sure to hit the like button because it helps the channel out a ton, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this and probably more knives like this down the line. We'll see you next time.